Hello, everybody, and welcome to Young Composer Reacts. It's me. I'm the Young Composer. I'm your host, and today we are going to react to some indie music from Croatia. Krole suggested that we react to Jonathan, To Love. I don't know anything about this. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. This might be the manager of the band, but I gotta give the people what they want. So let's jump straight into it. It's gonna be a full listen. You can tell, you can see the length of the video, so you'd better get settled, get something to eat, maybe watch in a few times. I don't know, I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. Let's just jump into it.
Conversations make me crawl on the ground. There's so much I ought to do. See, the treasure stop me wandering around. Make decisions to feel less ridicule. Spit my heart out. I'll spit my heart out and spit my heart out. I'll spit my heart out. And I'll be your guide. Yes, I'll be your guide. Hey, that we can all choose. The bells of fate, the bells of lust, the bells of crave, so we can all just, it's the bells of bells are choose, the bells are need, the bells are use, the bells are you, the bells are me, the bells are hate, so we could all
Okay, yeah, fine, cool. That was surprising to me. I was a bit worried about the gain at the beginning. I was like, wow, did this guy's not set everything to 0 dB? Because then I would have to edit the whole video, but I think we're good. I'm glad they weren't actually using too much compression because that beginning with the piano was able to be really eerie and you could wonder about things. So yeah, I'm glad. The piano felt really alien at the beginning, felt underwater in a different way than it does feel underwater on like a Moon-Shaped Pool by Radiohead. But still felt underwater, felt distant, felt very much like not home, but the kick felt like home. I love the contrast between the piano really cold sounding and the kick really hot sounding, cold claps going on. And in that whole first section, there were constant rhythm breaks and literally sometimes moments of silence, reminding me of Billie Eilish's first full album on songs like "When the Party's Over," where they just, they stop everything, nothing's going on, and it kills the rhythmic momentum of the song, which is not a problem at all on "When the Party's Over." But on this song, I was glad that it happened at the beginning because I was like, that's creative, but then I was a bit scared that it would impair the movement of that song. So I was really happy when those guitars and the busy drums came in. I thought that was a really cool move. I actually didn't expect it at all. I hadn't seen that the song was this long, so it makes sense to do moves like that, like that on long songs. I appreciate that. His voice at some points in the song remind me a bit of the voice of the singer in Interpol. What did I write here? I have no idea. Okay, cool. That's fine. You have this modern and not modern aspect to the mix where it's obviously like, it's not a pop super compressed mix, but at the same time there's this quality to the snare. I feel like the snare is a big way that engineers express their style in mixes, and like the snare sounds pretty tight and pretty modern to me. I like that. And I was a bit scared though around the 4 minute mark that it wouldn't go anywhere anymore. But they were able to bring in some more arrangement techniques. They dropped out the bass a bit. They added a few synths, and there were a couple really solid screams in there. I didn't expect that at all from what I had heard about this guy's voice in the rest of the song so far. So I really enjoyed that. Let's get into the rest of the album.
It's coming again. So hard to take. stand in my place. You can harm, you can erase. Will all that I am ever make sense to you? Will you be the one? Call the mistakes, swallow my wounds, the ones I can take. Will you be the one? No, I can trust, show what I need, see to the dust. Please be the one that knows I'm a waste. You can do harm and you can embrace. Will you be you? See me coming over, let it blow your face away. And it's needless to say that you blew it all away. Though it all makes sense to you, and there is no way to prove that you threw it all away, my child.
Alright, so very aggressive guitars here at the beginning, and the harmony is sort of created by them being, mistreating their guitars. And I appreciate that. You can write a melody in a certain way if you want to highlight some stuff, but here they just they just sort of let the expression of the guitar happen because of just the way they bang the thing. I appreciate that, and I appreciate how quickly they move away from it too, relying more on delays pretty quickly after that first section. The song as a whole is honestly not really my taste. I think, I've just heard this kind of chord progression and all a lot, but what they do that still interests me is the arrangement. So I love the Picardy. I can't speak English, dude. Picardy third that comes in at some point where they take the main minor chord in the song and make it major, really catching your ear, really catching you off guard. I like the strings; they are very eerie in the rhythm that they play and in the way that they're being played. I don't often hear strings being played like that. Very ominous, very it's a bit like the strings on Burn the Witch by Radiohead, but not quite. I don't know how to explain it. I like the cool 6/8 guitars. I like the helicopter delays at some point. Really feeling like just sounds of a chopper through the delays. This reminds me of the harmonic movements of Muse, but I feel like this song. I feel like I'd enjoy it more if it was a bit shorter, and probably the same thing for the first track as well. I said that the arrangement sort of came in clutch to help me, but it didn't quite save the first song for me. To me, that I really enjoyed the beginning of the first song, and then even more when this sort of wall of sound came in. And then I think they sort of lost my interest a bit due to the length of the song. So I started around there, then I was here, then I was down there. But this is still very creative way of arranging things.
and I don't feel like leaving here. Although I don't think that I'm really here. But I won't judge if it strips me bare today. And I won't hold a grudge by staying here, 'cause it's too late and it's so, and it hardly seems fair. And I don't feel it's anyone. And I don't feel it's anyone's fault. I don't feel it's anyone. It's anyone's fault.
I like that running theme of the footsteps at the end. Makes me think of Pink Floyd. I like the authoritarian tone of the voice at the beginning. Sounds like a podcast, or sounds like you're listening to the radio in your car. Really, the lows really hitting you. He sounds like Leonard Cohen to me. Like the strings on the album, I looked up the band really quickly, just their YouTube channel, and I think they have a bunch of members and I think those strings are actually full time members of the band. That's always cool, you know. A lot of rock bands just like use strings on albums and pay them as session players, and then typically don't tour with them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I always like when there's string players on a band, any band. Okay, the mixing personality here that I said was expressed on snare before is expressed on the snare style, but on the side of the snare, the drummer hits with the stick, so that's called a rim shot. That's what we say in French. I don't know if that's the correct term in English. I do not know. But those rim shots sound very almost sampley because of the nature of their tone, like the reverb they have on them. They sound extremely consistent. They sound exactly the same every time to me, and yeah, it could be a sample, could be messed with in some way. Um, it doesn't disrupt the flow of the song. I always like to note those things though. You know what doesn't sound like samples? The guitars, because they're not perfectly in tune, and that's fine. This is a long song again. This album seems to have like long songs in general, a lot of different arrangements. So like, even though this song is sort of, you know, I don't know. It's sort of the same running theme all the way through, but it really has a lot of different ways of expressing that same theme. I think the choir is great with the voice. I love how those two elements blend together. And this is basically it.
On this shitty day, walking faster than on those finer days, they're gone. On this shitty day, falling faster than we have ever thought we'd fall. On this shitty day, walking faster than on those finer days, they're gone. On this shitty day, walking faster than we have. On this shitty day, walking faster than on those finer days, they're gone. On this shitty day, falling faster than we have ever thought we'd fall. to hold on to. All there is to see. You waking, slowly making distant love until you are tender. You will surrender to me. It's all there is you see. Not a who should I say? I wanna do it. Oh, and it's solving you. It's getting harder. See where it got to. Say you want it. Say you want it now. Oh, it's so low and not humbling up. But part is to say.
Yeah, I love that sort of thing, you know. At the end, just showing the ambience of the studio and whatever. So again, we have a lot of arrangements on this, but honestly, as many arrangements as there are, this is still a very simple thing to listen to because, you know, even though some aspects and some parts of this album so far, in terms of like amount of arrangements and stuff, remind me of jazz more than they remind me of rock, it's always, you know, it's always like, oh, let's pan a guitar on that side and then let's pan a guitar here and let's have some like Hendrix double bands at the end and let's have some octaves and let's have that and that. It's common. I hear that quite a bit on some stuff, you know. Oh, professional way of speaking, boys. Yeah, so I'm getting a Coldplay feeling from this, like not in a rip-off kind of way at all, but just like the energy. It's very melancholy, it's very nostalgic in the feelings that it seems to evoke. And so, yeah, I love also the very aggressive and breaky background vocals that come in the choruses with really, you know, some attention being paid to the actual note that's being sung, but the purpose of the background vocal being more to just back the energy of the main vocal. And I always like when there's like gang vocals like that, where when people don't necessarily sound exactly in tune, but it ends up sounding great, like when a crowd is singing, because that's not really necessarily the point. The point, you know, so many songs you and I know, with people just going like hey on it, you know, like pirate background vocals and that sort of thing, just oi or ah, and it always, you know, it always brings the energy in. It doesn't have to be the most professionally recorded thing ever. So yes, that's about it. Let's move on to the next track.
It's all those moments you left behind that are coming back now, breaking your window glass. It's all those moments you left behind that are coming back now, promising it shall be hard, but it's easier. Yeah, it shall be hard, but it's easier. So bring your second show. Your money's not worth anymore. Go bring your body back. Your heart's in there, and it's slowly coming back to me now. And it's easier. It's all those moments I left behind that are coming right back, painting my windows black. So bring your second show. Your mouth's not worth anymore. The explosion only innocence. It's easier, but it's nothing unless always shaking. Show yourself irregular. Be your love, babe. It's easier to be hard. It's all those moments you left behind that your body was for to deny. To say was hard. Now it's easier. You say was hard, 'cause it's easier.
I love the ending of that. I think the ending, I don't know, maybe one of my favorite. Dude, can I speak English? Can I do it? It could be one of my favorite sections of the song. I really like this guy's voice in general. I'm just noticing. I love the tone of his voice. very simple harmonies again. We have a verse with two chords, and we have a chorus with two new chords, plus the two chords that already were on the verse. So I'm kind of wondering, like, why, gotta keep it real. I don't know why this song has to be 5 minutes. I don't know why so many of the songs on this have to be 5 minutes, because other than the great little interlude that I didn't really mention it, but there's this great interlude on Living Here, where, just the bass and the guitars echoing together in a different harmonic universe than the rest of the song. But other than that, all the songs like stay in the same key all the way through and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just I like to have a little something, to feed my brain, to be like, little bit, dude, little piece of ear candy, and I'm not getting too much of that. I'm finding some similarities to what I said about Radiohead's style of mixing, where the bass isn't loud when it doesn't have to be. The drums sort of cover the bass slightly on this song. They're a bit louder. I love the drum playing though. I love the grace notes or the ghost notes on this, on the snare. And I hadn't really noticed that so far, that the guitar tones of at least one of the players here, the clean tones are a bit fluty. They're pretty high. They sort of lack beef, I noticed. And it didn't bug me at all on any of the other tracks. I thought that it was a fine fit to the rest of the arrangement, but I'm now noticing that that's not, a choice for one song or a couple of songs. It's this person's tone in general, and they're not fully getting my stamp of tone approval. Not that matters at all, but nothing's fine. Nothing's wrong with diversity. Sorry, but don't put that out of context. So. Yeah, to be honest, like, this is not very harmonically inspired, in spite of all the different arrangements and musicians in the band. So, it's I enjoy listening to this music, but I don't know if I would need to revisit those tracks further.
Well, heaven is made out of things that you put me through. There's not much to say, but it is what you want it to. Well, heaven is made out of hurt in your angel love. There's not much to say, and it is felt by you and I. Heaven is made out of things that you put me through. There's not much to say, but the words all the lovers do. Heaven is made out of blossoming violet sky. This world's old and way, but it is made for you and I. 'Cause there's nothing much to take, but you're willing at your break. And there's nothing much to chew. This world is willing at your lose. But it's made for you and I, filled with thorns so we can try. much to say. And it's here with me today. There's not much to chew. This world is willing at you lose, but it's made for you and I. Always know that you can cry unless you're willing to obey and hope that everything's okay. Place you wanna see will be the face you're gonna leave.
Love that ending climb. Love the way that it combines energy and harmony. You know, sort of like in A Day in the Life by the Beatles, when like it's a crescendo, but it's also like increasingly more dissonant. Well, I don't know if it's really. It's pretty dissonant from the beginning in that Beatles song, but from the beginning of the crescendo, I mean, this song though, Heaven uses sort of the same formula again that a lot of the other songs use, where, well, it's a very standard way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with that formula, but you know, you have like the two guitars coming in and the bass and the vocals, and then it's the drums, and you build that energy up. But they don't quite build it up like that though. They really cut the energy of the song under your throat. That doesn't make sense, but when they choose to do a complete break to let the guitar part shine, this guitar part is pretty cool, but it feels a bit tropey. It feels like maybe somebody was trying to show off their part more than an actual mature arrangement choice. I was really wanting that energy to hit me right in the feels, right there and then. So you saw me moving and then, you know, sort of freezing, like why did they do this? Not the worst of choices, and the ending really pays off. I really love the energy of that ending. I love the drumming on this, but you know, a bit frustrating in a 5-minute song again to be to have the grass cut under your feet like that. But I like the arpeggios at the beginning, or arpeggi, depending on whether you choose to use proper Italian grammar or not. I think that's really something they do right to give some of, you know, to give some credit to those guitar players. I really enjoy the arpeggios throughout the entire album. I think that adds a lot of interest to the arrangements, and even though the harmonies may be simple, at least they're not just like strumming chords the way the piano does. When the piano sort of clads those chords, the mix of that piano can be a little tad loud to my taste, because those arpeggios should, I think, have a more important role if an instrument is just gonna, lay down chords like that without having a specifically interesting tone. I don't think you should really highlight that. So I like what they do with the guitars when they introduce that Dorian mode for just a single chord, though. That's a piece of ear candy that I enjoy. That's always, the Bond thing. Just love that stuff. But I think it works best when it's done in a way to highlight something else that is already going on. And since they do that at a spot where it's really just the guitars doing that and interacting together in that way, I think they miss an opportunity to do something like Orla Gartland does in her music, where on Freckle Season EP, I don't want to think about what song because we'll be there rest of the evening, but she does introduce that Dorian mode in the same way that they did here, but it really makes the note she's singing more beautiful and more impactful at that same time, which doesn't happen here. I'd like to say the intro was different. There's some cool variety being brought in by the bass player using the pick to play, and also for the first time we hear sliding on this album with a I never know what the English names are. We just call it a slide in French, but yeah, sorry, it's a bottleneck, right, that you use on the guitar and stuff. That was pretty nice.
Hi, you! Don't you know that it's okay to have it any other way? Like taking yourself to blame. Hi, you! Don't you know what is sublime? Not staring at a satellite, or hating yourself at night. television is on, and that you just turned 41, and that your vision is gone. I said, who lies to whom? Say who lies to whom? It's what you wanna do, don't you know? 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 Are you? Are you? Are you?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's Christmas, dude. They did a crazy harmonic change at the end, and they did a 3:48 minute song. 3:48 song. I really love that. I think that would be like probably the perfect length for a lot of the songs on this album, in my humble opinion. I can only give my opinion, guys. I don't have anyone else's. Sorry, I tried getting them, but it didn't work. Um, cool little rhythmic trick at the beginning there. Really appreciated that too. That's some other pieces of Ear Candy, I guess. You know, the guitars and the voice suggested that the rhythm would come in a certain way, and the drums said nope, it's the other way. Love that stuff. What else do we get? Well, to be honest, like at some points on that song, I just couldn't write anything down because I was sort of set on not being the biggest fan of this album, so I couldn't really like, find interesting things to say. But another thing that I really loved on this is the way they buried the entire instrumentation right before saying "Who Lies to Whom." Like the way, especially the guitar on the left speaker was so present and then completely dead, but it didn't feel like a botched fade out to me at all. I was like, I don't know, it happened super organically, and for some reason it had a super cool sound. The way they killed everything there, probably the most innovative thing, the most creative thing I've heard on this album in terms of mixing and production. Really liked that. And I think this might be the final track. I don't know.
Last night when I saw your face, babbling on how to win a skill. I long for a winter chill, held beside me so that we could feel what it takes. 'Cause it's only been a while to give me hope that I can't take, to give up, to give up. We're all just a part of it. Don't just
Great ending. Oh, hold on a second. I messed up there. Okay, I was replaying the entire album. Nope, not gonna happen just yet. Okay, so that was the last track. I love the cowbell at the beginning here. I like the fact that Ellison is 3:48 again, exactly the same length as that previous track that I said was the right length. So there's some cosmic happenstance here. Thank you. And his voice really does sound like the guy from Interpol, and in a really good way. Like I like both singers, and this guy, yeah, he's honestly a great singer. The strings went underground for the last two tracks on this, and you know what? Why not? Honestly, the arrangements were a bit crowded on the beginning of the album, with everything that was going on. Like especially with they were so simple that some elements felt maybe a bit over the top. So why not, dropping out the strings for the ending of the album? It's not common. Usually like you only have strings on the last track or something, but whatever. I was thinking during listening to this about what Ola Gatlin's song I was actually thinking about, but you know what? It doesn't matter because you should listen to Freckle Season in its entirety. It's a really good EP. It's one of my favorite EP ever of anything. Okay, and pretty cool guitar tones on that track. On that note, that sort of concludes our album journey here. To be honest, I like the first track better than all the other ones. I think in hindsight, it's probably the strongest track on the album. I think just because of that really distant alien feel you get with the piano and the ambience that gets completely disrupted by this wall of distorted guitars and all. Really enjoyable start to the album, and I was really glad. Honestly, I was like, dude, like this is why I have a YouTube channel. Thank you, Krole, for suggesting this. And as the album progressed, I sort of lost a bit of that excitement, which, unless you listen to a very good album, isn't all that surprising in today's world of like constant stimulation and all that stuff. If an album is not really good, I guess it can't captivate my ear for all that long. But I'm torn now. I'm torn because this is the first time I actually do an album reaction like this from a suggestion, and I felt from the first track that this had the potential to be like, something I would really, really love. And so obviously you never know what's to come. Like there's so many great indie bands, and there's so many albums that I could love that you guys could suggest. But at the same time, now that I just went through this and it wasn't my favorite thing ever, I'm sort of like, oh, maybe I should react to big albums and to the best albums of the decade according to whoever and whatnot, and react to I don't know, like tested albums. Like somebody suggested the Smiths, and I know that's probably I'm probably not gonna have the same experience with the Smiths, but all in all, very enjoyable music. Zero shade on this band at all. Honestly, like they're very talented. Every instrumentist and vocalist are very talented. I just I just don't personally connect with their songwriting all that much because of all of the reasons that I formally established. What am I saying? I'm losing what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I wanted more ear candy. I wanted more key changes. There were a couple. I really appreciate that there were, but yeah, all in all, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching this. You can comment the albums that you'd like me to listen to or react to or review, and yeah, honestly, I could do that too. I could just do album reviews. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm a broken record at this point, but yeah, for something like this, maybe I'd much rather listen to it on my own time, maybe doing something else at the same time, and like sort of make a little video saying, hey, here's what I like, here's what I don't like, instead of spending an hour and 4 minutes. But this is it. I'm gonna wait for 420 because it's funny. Thank you for watching. Thanks, bye. Oh no, I missed it. No, that's not okay.